Hello, YouTube. Baseball Card Junkies TV here.
Tops 85 401.
Titanic Taters. And we are doing our follow-up to our original Baseball Cards 101. We're doing Baseball Card Collecting 201.
Yes, we thought it would be fun for all you collectors that are new to the hobby or people that are getting back into the hobby or collectors like us that have made a few discoveries in the last couple of years, and we just thought we'd pass on the knowledge.
Definitely. So that is our goal. So the first subject is going to be, a lot of this is kind of stuff that you have to be careful of as I'm going through it.
Eric's sitting here looking at the list.
So let's talk about things that are kind of good for you, for collectors, as a collector, okay? The first being, what is the best time for someone as a buyer to buy baseball cards?
Well, I would say the off season.
That is correct, Nate. So the off season is the best time because people have moved on to football season and they're collecting football cards or basketball cards or hockey cards or whatnot. So as a buyer, you're probably going to get the best deals on your cards in the off season.
Yep.
Now, as a seller, you want to try to sell those things during the season.
Of course, it's the opposite.
And usually, if it's going to be somebody that did really well the season before, like let's take example, Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton from last year, the best time to sell them is spring training.
Yep.
And they'll peak out about a week or two after the baseball season started. And then they'll kind of stay at that level. So that's kind of your seller guidebook, I guess, for making the most profit, and your buyer guidebook for spending the least amount of money.
Yes.
That being said, let's go into something Nate is very, very passionate about. And this is subgrades on a BGS 9.5.
And this is specifically for a BGS 9.5. If you're a new collector or someone that hasn't been in the hobby since the grading has started, you'll notice that Gem Mint is typically the best grade. Of course, there's a pristine, but we're not talking about pristine. Gem Mint is pretty much the best grade. But within that grade, within BGS, there's, like, you could have a card that will sell between 100 and 150 for the same Gem Mint BGS 9.5. And the reason why, there are 4 subgrades. So if you get a card that has 3 9.5s and a 9, that one's going to sell, and you could get a better, you can get a much lower price than the highest BGS 9.5, which would be 2 9.5s and 2 10s. That's a very strong BGS 9.5. So just be really, really careful. And kind of the rule of thumb for me, and my recommendation for people, because I get this question a lot, is if you're getting a BGS 9.5 and it has 3 9.5s and a 9, you should be paying maybe a little bit more than a PSA 9. And then if you're getting a BGS where it has 2 9.5s and 2 10s, you should be paying no more than a PSA 10. No more than a PSA 10. So at max, what a PSA 10 sells for. Those are just some general guidelines. But don't overspend on those BGS 9.5s. They do not hold the same value as a PSA 10. Be very, 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 very careful with those. And just make sure you do a little bit of research based on our recommendation.
Definitely. And then going on to things that also affect value of a card. And this is specifically for serial numbered cards. Is when you have a popular player and you have their jersey number in the serial number. So, for example, a Bryce Harper would be number 34 out of 100, or number 3 out of 4. Barry Bonds or Mark McGwire would be number 25 out of whatever, or number 2 out of 5.
Yes.
And the list goes on and on and on. And the reason that those jersey numbers sell higher is because you have the super player collectors that's what they're looking for, is the jersey number in the serial number. Any particular thoughts on that, Nate?
Well, for me, I am a player collector, and I don't put, there's so much, I collect bonds. There's so many bonds cards out there that I just don't want to waste my money paying a premium for a card that I could get for a lot less. Mm-hmm. I'm just not made out of money. So as a new collector or a collector that hasn't collected in a long time, just be careful. Don't pay a premium for those. Mm-hmm. The value really, really isn't there. If you're going to try to resell the card in the future, you're probably not going to get your money back that you paid the premium on it for that particular type of serial numbering.
And realistically, that's a card that's probably never going to hit the market ever again. Because it's going to, a super devotee of that player.
Yeah, you don't want to end up getting in a bidding war with like a super collector that has deep pockets.
Yeah.
It really has nothing better to do than spend extra money on the serial numbering of a card.
Definitely. So this is a popular subject in the hobby. First, we're going to cover key prospect cards.
Okay.
All right. So,
and we're going to talk about 2006 through now.
Correct.
2005 or before, that's another video. We'll cover it in another video.
Someday.
But 2006 through now.
So your key prospect card is going to be the one that says first Bowman Chrome card.
Yep.
Okay. And then as far as value goes, that's going to be the more valuable, and the most highly sought after is usually going to be the 1-of-1 superfractor autograph of that same card. Okay. Yep. Now going into rookie cards.
Key rookie card. So the key rookie card is going to be the card with the rookie card logo. And the kind of the general rule of thumb, it's been my observation that the general rule of thumb for a key rookie card, and this is what the rookie card logo is going to either be, if the player has a Topps update card, that's going to be their key rookie card. For example, the Jose Altuve, the Mike Trout, the Clayton Kershaw, the Giancarlo Stanton, the Bryce Harper, all those cards, if they have a Topps update rookie, those are going to be the key rookie. The reason why, that's going to be the card that's going to be in the set registries for these players, for whatever the set registry is. And then if they don't have a Topps update rookie card, then it's going to be their Topps Chrome rookie card with the rookie card logo. So, for example, Aaron Judge would be a perfect example. He has a regular Topps rookie, and then the Topps Chrome rookie. The Topps Chrome rookie would be the one, in my opinion, that would be in the set registry, not the Topps regular Topps.
Chris Bryant is a good example of that as well.
Chris Bryant. His Topps Chrome would be the one, not the regular Topps. So those are the key Topps, or the key rookie cards, and then of course the key prospect cards, which is something completely different, would be the first Bowman. And a lot of people will debate what is the true rookie card of the player. Is it the first card appeared in a mainstream product, or is it the first card with the rookie card logo? And basically my recommendation for you is you decide for yourself what is your opinion on the rookie card. There's no right or wrong answer. There really isn't. There's a hobby definition, and then it's your collecting preference. My recommendation would be go with your collecting preference, not the hobby definition.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make that subject matter short and sweet.
Yeah, because it's a big subject matter.
A lot of people make it way more complicated than it needs to be.
So let's go into modern raw cards that are going to be worth more their raw version versus like a PSA 7 or a PSA 8 or something,
or a BGS 8.5
or a BGS 8.5
or lower.
So this is more kind of a buyer beware type situation, because people who sell, they know if a card is going to be worth more than the graded version. So for example, I purchased a card recently that is a 2009 Upper Deck something or other, Bryce Harper patch autograph, numbered out of $9.99. I bought it in a PSA 7. And the reason I did that is because I wanted it for my collection, but I did not want to pay a high premium for it, okay? Now, PSA 7, having already been judged by the gods of the PSA grading world, we know that that's never going to get to a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. So I paid half the price of a raw card on that specific card.
So what you're saying is your PSA 7 costs half that of a raw version of the same card.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and this is something you kind of have to look out for. Like I said, sellers, less than reputable people will take that, crack it, throw it back on eBay as a raw card in the hopes that it's going to get caught in that bid. Oh, this could grade as a 10. This could be a $5,000 card if I can get it at, a good deal and it grades it a 10. but they know it's never going to happen, so they are taking advantage. So some of the things you have to be careful for, especially, and it's usually going to be a key card. It's going to be of a high profile player. You want to double check the sold listings, okay? So if you see a card that pops up shortly after another one has sold, within the same month or two, you just want to go back and double check and say, oh, did this number 325 out of 1,000 or whatever, has that been sold recently? Just do your research and make sure you're getting something that is fresh, because there are people that will take advantage of that.
Yeah, but as a buyer, you can take advantage of the low
Exactly.
grade if you're trying to get an example of the card and pay a fraction of the price. Here's another example. There was a 2017 Topps Barry Bonds autograph card numbered to 10 that sold for $75 because it was graded a BGS 6, and I'm kicking myself I didn't buy it. I really should have bought it. But that's a great value. I mean, that card typically sells between 150 and what up, Aaron Davis? That was Aaron Davis calling me.
We should have put him on.
Yeah, I know, I should have put him on. All right, I'll do that.
Give him a call back. So, it's a card that's going to sell.
Hey, Aaron, we're making a video on Baseball Card Junkies TV. You want to say hi to everyone?
What's up, everyone?
Hey, man, I'll give you a call back when we're done making the video.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right. Talk to you soon.
So yeah, it'll typically sell between $150 and $250 raw, right?
Raw, no, between 150 and 200.
There you
but
go.
It sold for 75 because it was a BGS 6. I'm sure it had a significant flaw, but for that price, it was definitely worth it.
Yeah. So, and especially for mine with the Bryce Harper situation, that's never a card that's going to hit the market. I'm not going to sell that card. So,
you got a good value.
I got a great value on it,
and it's just for your collection.
I didn't have to pay $200 for it.
So there's nothing wrong with buying modern cards in a low grade if you're trying to stretch your budget further.
Exactly.
Basically, that's what we're trying to say.
Exactly.
We do it.
We do it.
Or we should have done it.
So, on the lines of that, going into sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Oh, man. Okay, so basically that's on vintage cards, tobacco cards up through like 1956 is typically where you'll see them. But for example, this Napoleon Lajoie 1933 Gaudi, obviously it's a reprint, so it's a completely legitimate card. Mm-hmm. But what people will do is they'll dip a card like this in tea to make it look aged. Then they'll get sandpaper around the corners.
So throw it in their bike spokes.
Yep, throw it in their bike spokes, bend it, maybe put a couple of pinholes on it. Then they'll put it on Craigslist, typically Craigslist. And they'll say, I have these cards, I don't really understand cards. I'm selling them for $1,000, even though you're looking at $20,000 worth of cards, if they were actually real. And then people get excited and they think that they're going to get the deal of the century. This card you actually see on eBay, where people will artificially age a reprint. Mm-hmm. So the key is these cards are not fake. They're not fake. What they are is they are reprints that are artificially aged and then sold as originals. Mm-hmm. Much different than a fake.
And it's always going to be your key vintage cards. It's going to be your Napoleon Lajoie Gaudi. It's going to be your Honus Wagner T206.
The 52
mantle.
54 Aaron.
Yeah, and your
51 Mays. 51
was it
Bowman Mays.
1920s Gaudi or whatever, the Babe Ruth.
No, 1933 Gaudi.
1933 Gaudi, the Babe Ruth.
Anyways, you guys get the picture. We're not going to talk about it too much, but bottom line, if it's too good to be true, it is. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm on a group called Baseball Card Collectors and Keeping It Real, and I see posts like that almost every day, and it drives me nuts because people are convinced that they're going to go out and buy a real card, and they're just going to end up getting ripped off.
Anybody that has those cards, they're going to be graded at this point, or they're sitting up in somebody's shoebox up in their attic, never to be seen by the eyes of human beings ever again.
Or a safety deposit box.
Or a safety deposit box, exactly. Goes into kind of something that's a issue with especially your consignment stores on eBay, which is shill bidding.
Okay, so we'll explain shill bidding really quick. Let's say I have this Barry Bonds card, and I want to sell it, but I don't want to sell it on my eBay account. So what I will do is I'll ship it off to, there's two big consignment centers. There's PWCC and Probstein. Those are the two biggest ones. I'll send this card to PWCC or Probstein, and then I will create, I mean, this is like a scenario. This is what people do. I'll create a fake eBay account, and then when the card gets listed, every time someone bids, I'll bid them up on a fake eBay account. I'll bid my own card up through a consignment seller. That way eBay can't track who's bidding on the card. They can't say that you're anyways, it's it's a problem with consignment sellers. So bottom line, if you're going to buy from a consignment seller, one, be very, very careful. And two, Eric will tell you what he does.
Yeah. So a lot of that shill bidding will happen as like early on and through the middle, and as it's going up, they'll just keep going up and up if they have a couple of bidders on it. Now, what I usually do is first I do my research and to determine how much this particular card should actually sell for. I'll look at the sold listings of the independent sellers and see what it's sold for. Okay, or at least a equal version of it, in a different brand. And I will determine this is the dollar amount that I'm going to pay for this card. I usually wait until the last 4 seconds of an auction, and I put that number in there, whatever it is. If it's $10 or $20 or whatever, I put my high number in there, and hopefully I get it for less. But that's how I kind of try to avoid it. There are last-minute shill bidders as well, but I feel that I avoid paying more than I want to for a card if I wait till the last possible second to bid.
Yeah, and there are programs too that you can have websites where you can put in your top bid and they'll bid for you the last couple of seconds.
Yeah,
and that can be helpful as well.
So the next one is we're not going to take a whole lot of time on this, but it's how to protect your autograph cards, maybe specifically for the glossier stock, the shiny, like the Panini prisms, Topps Chrome,
refractors, acetate autos. So basically, if you're going to store them in a magnetic, this is the main issue. If you're going to store them in a magnetic, put a penny sleeve over the card before you put the top of the magnetic. If you want to see a tutorial on how that's done, there will be a link down below. I actually posted a video about a week ago on how to do this. And
very informative. I learned a lot.
So he actually told me to do that. I got the idea from Eric, and then I made. He
stole it. It was supposed to be a baseball Card Junkies TV video. He stole it. I can't tell. I have to surprise him with all the subjects now.
So, anyways, guys,
as always, happy collecting, and thanks for watching. Peace.